Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Erik ten Hag sends message to Andre Onana after Galatasaray defeat. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has said that Andre Onana will bounce back following his disappointing performance against Galatasaray in the Champions League. The Red Devils suffered their sixth defeat of the campaign on a Tuesday night. They were twice in the lead against the Turkish champions, but squandered the advantage with poor defending. Galatasaray eventually scored a third goal after another mistake at the back. Onana should have been better with his handling, but his big mistake came before Galatasaray's winner. The 27-year-old gifted possession to the visitors with a loose pass in the box. And trying to make up for his error, Casemiro not only conceded a penalty, but also got sent off for a second yellow card. Mauro Icardi missed the resultant spot kick for Galatasaray, but the Argentine capitalized on another chance a few minutes later to secure his club's first ever victory on English soil. Speaking after the game, Ten Hag was posed with several questions by reporters, and one of those was focused on the performance of Onana, who had a forgettable outing. In response, the Dutchman said that he is definitely happy with Onana and highlighted that the Cameroonian reached the final of the Champions League last season. He added that Onana has the capabilities to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world and has the personality to bounce back from his mistake in the coming games, he told Sky Sports. We are happy with our goalkeeping group, definitely with Andre. He was in one semi-final of the Champions League last year. He was in the final of the Champions League. He has the capabilities to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He has shown that he will do. We already have seen in games his great capabilities, also his personality after he made mistakes. He will bounce back, and I'm sure he will in the coming games as well. United have had a dismal start to the campaign, with 6 defeats from their opening 10 games in all competitions. The club have had injury concerns at the back, but they are still expected to perform better. The Red Devils host Brentford in the Premier League on Saturday afternoon before the international break. It's already a must-win game for them, as they are already 7 points behind the top 4. Manchester United should be worried about centre-back Raphael Varane, says a journalist. Manchester United lost 3-2 to Galatasaray at Old Trafford last night in their second group game of the 23-24 Champions League campaign, and Paul Scholes was far from impressed with the Red Devils' defense. The former Man United midfielder singled out Raphael Varane after failing to impress against the Turkish Super Lig club, questioning his fitness level. The visitors found it easy to break down the host at the back, and they could have easily scored more than 3 goals. Scholes said, I worry about Varan a bit. I think he has been one of the very best defenders around, just like Rio Ferdinand was in that Real Madrid side. I just think his legs are looking a little bit sluggish. He can't keep fit. I'd be worried about him. The Frenchman was caught napping for the third goal, failing to track Mauro Icardi, and was not at his best last night. Man United have conceded 18 goals across 10 games in all competitions so far this term, keeping just 3 clean sheets. They are set to be without Lisandro Martinez until next year, which is set to further deal a blow on their chances of shooting out the opponents at the back. Varan has also struggled with his fitness this term, missing some games as a result, and it appears that has affected his pace and limited his game. The 30-year-old is past his prime, and the Red Devils need to bring in a much younger replacement in January or next summer. They are already preparing to sign a new centre-back next year and are monitoring Nice star Jean-Claire Todibo, Bayer Leverkusen centre-back Edmond Tapsoba, and Benfica defender Antonio Silva. A great defense is key to winning major silverware, and Man United do not have one right now. Dion Dublin explains why he prefers Hannibal in midfield for Man United than Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag recalled Hannibal Mejbri for last night's Champions League game with Galatasaray. Ten Hag looked to add Hannibal's energy to Manchester United's midfield while still retaining Bruno Fernandes's creativity. Hannibal played 45 minutes for Manchester United against Galatasaray, having 30 touches, winning 5 duels before being replaced by Christian Eriksen at halftime. Speaking to MUTV prior to kick-off, former Manchester United striker Dion Dublin said he actually prefers Hannibal Mejbri in midfield to Bruno Fernandes. He says he believes Hannibal's energy in central areas is essential and it allows Fernandes out wide to be freed up to make an impact in the final third. Dublin said, I'd rather have Hannibal in there, more legs than Bruno. It frees Bruno up into the areas to play people in. Hannibal in the middle suits us better. On Fernandes playing on the right wing, he added, I think it works. It allows Bruno to do what he wants and be the creative one. Let Hannibal do what he needs to do. Wes Brown added, with Bruno out there, he's more often than capable of being the provider, getting his shots off, seeing the passes. Dublin added, reflecting on Hannibal's performance, I think Hannibal has been brilliant, I have got to say. Bruno Fernandes can play on the right wing. We have seen him do it for Manchester before and for Portugal, and in certain matches, it might be the best tactical approach, but it does not seem like a permanent solution, and it wasn't a particularly effective one last night. United have an expansive winger, Anthony, plus two bright prospects in Facundo Pellistri and Ahmad. Another winger could even be signed as a replacement for Jadon Sancho. It's good to have options though, and Hannibal's emergence as a first-team player has really added to the mix in a good way. Rasmus Haaland stars for Man United in a frustrating Galatasaray defeat. Manchester United striker Rasmus Haaland produced a fantastic individual performance during the club's 3-2 defeat to Galatasaray in the Champions League last night. The Dane has been a lively presence for the Red Devils. He has yet to score his maiden Premier League goal, but has been a revelation in the Champions League. The 20-year-old netted his first United goal in the 4-3 defeat at Bayern. He continued with his good form in Europe with a fantastic brace against the Turkish champions. Haaland made a terrific run into the box on the counter-attack to convert Marcus Rashford's cross. With the scores level at 1-1, the striker gave United the lead once again. He made a stunning solo run from the halfway mark before converting with a calm finish. Despite his brace, the Red Devils were on the losing side at Old Trafford. Haaland had a wonderful outing despite the frustrating loss. Aside from his goals, he won 100% of his dribbles, 3 out of 3, alongside 6 ground and aerial duels. United have a potential world-class striker in the squad, but need to sort out their defense such that they don't waste Haaland's contributions in the attacking third. He spoke with MUTV after the game to express his mixed emotions. He said, It's a little bit difficult. I feel happy and not happy at the same time. Of course, it's not about the individual performance, it's about getting the 3 points. And at the moment, we are not good enough. We need to remember we can't concede goals right after we score. We've had a few games now where that's happened. We need to go back, analyze that tomorrow, and talk about it in the group. It's a tough period, but we need to stick together. That's the only way we will get out of it. We need to get some points now if we want to play in the Champions League after the group stage. Jadon Sancho on the verge of leaving Man United during the January transfer window, with apology not forthcoming. Manchester United attacker Jadon Sancho remains out of the first-team picture after refusing to apologize to manager Erik ten Hag for his social media outburst last month. It appears none is forthcoming as the England international appears keen to leave Old Trafford in January. According to Sky Sports journalist Florian Plettenberg, while returning to Borussia Dortmund is very unlikely, the manager of the Bundesliga club and the Man United forward remain in regular contact and nothing has been ruled out. Sancho was linked with a summer exit after the transfer window in the top European leagues had closed, but he was unwilling to move to Saudi Arabia or Turkey. A January exit is all but guaranteed, as he is unwilling to admit that he is wrong, and Ten Hag will not hesitate to sanction a departure. The 23-year-old will not be short of suitors across Europe during the winter transfer window, especially if the Red Devils are willing to loan him out with an option to buy. Some Premier League clubs are also likely to register interest in recruiting his services despite his documented disciplinary issues. Sancho has been banished from all first team facilities at the club, including the dining room, but that has not made him remorseful despite agreeing to delete his initial ex post calling out the manager. Given his struggles and lack of consistency in the final third since he joined the club in 2021, it's safe to say the England international will not be missed by the coaching staff, and Man United will hope they can recoup a larger chunk of the £73 million they parted with for his services. However, not many clubs will be keen to pay the £39 million he is currently worth in the transfer market, and it will be interesting to see whether he can manage to turn his career around going forward. Sir Jim Ratcliffe now seriously considering buying minority Manchester United stake. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is open to buying a minority stake in Manchester United in an attempt to resolve the future ownership of the club, according to Sky News. The British billionaire and Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani have been looking to complete a full takeover of the Red Devils since the Glazers put it up for sale last November. However, completing the deal has proven difficult with the sellers and buyers unable to agree on a selling price. The Glazers want at least £6 billion for Man United, and Ratcliffe is proposing a deal which would see him acquire part of both their shares and the stock publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange in equal proportion. The Nice owner could seek around 25% stake in the Old Trafford club, which could see him spend in the region of £100.5 billion. It remains to be seen whether acquiring a minority stake would give the billionaire an eventual path to a full takeover of Man United. The Glazers would almost certainly remain in control if they agree to his current proposal. While it's not what the fans want, it could be the best way to get the current owners to sell the club going forward, as they are not keen on relinquishing ownership right now. Ratcliffe is still very much interested in completing a full takeover, but has pitched a restructured deal as he looks to unblock the ongoing impasse over the future of the club. The bid from Sheikh Jassim remains on the table, but the Glazers are unlikely to accept it as it does not meet their demands. They could be open to considering selling a minority stake, which would help them with much needed funding. The Carrington training base and Theatre of Dreams could both do with a facelift right now, and investment from a minority owner will come in handy. Manchester United could turn to Wolves ace Pedro Neto if Jadon Sancho leaves in January. Manchester United's on-field performances have been dismal, and they have been partly caused by the numerous injuries and off-field controversies. Jadon Sancho has been banished from the first team for accusing the manager of making him a scapegoat while providing preferential treatment to others. All the Dutch boss had done was comment on the England internationals for the training displays, and this led to the situation escalating. The 23-year-old has refused to apologize and has been barred from utilizing any first-team facility at the club. He is likely to be moved on during the January transfer window. The Englishman is in touch with his former club Borussia Dortmund, and the possibility of a loan move cannot be ruled out at this stage. If Sancho ends up leaving during the winter transfer window, United will most likely need a replacement to come in, as the club is currently short of right wingers. Transfer guru Fabrizio Romano has indicated that Wolverhampton Wanderers star Pedro Neto could be a possible option, especially after his blistering start to the campaign. Neto has a current market valuation of 28 million euros as per transfer market, but Wolves are expected to ask for more than 60 million pound considering his importance to the team. Under the Glazers, United have usually stayed away from lavish spends in January, and Ten Hag has had to be content with loan deals, so that is a major problem. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.